You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, John Paul Leck.
Together we are
Rope
Break. And before we say anything, happy 2021 to every single one of you. Happy New Year to all of our family. We hope that everything that you have planned, all their dreams, turn into realities. Finally 2020 is gone. This awful year, out of the window, like Jean Paul says, right there, boom, out. And like I said, all the positive vibe to every single one of you. We hope that everything goes well. And this 2021 is so much better. It completely surpasses what 2021 was. And, thank you for all the love, for all the support that we get from you. All we can, always say, our commitment is just to bring the best content for you at all times and just keep growing for you guys. So, Paul, SmackDown started a new year, but I guess we got the same lobe of shit that we get every single week.
No, you said Happy New Year. It's let's bring in the positivity. Let's bring in the good vibes. But SmackDown, I don't know. Maybe they didn't get a new calendar. Maybe they still are. Maybe they flipped the 2020 calendar back to January. Hopefully, just for them, not for the rest of us. Because this show is just the same old shit we've been seeing week after week after week. Not good. We pretty much saw the same match that we saw last week. Just take out the tag team champions for the women. We saw pretty much the same thing. You just see matchups you don't care about, making a joke out of Sami Zayn, our great liberator. Just not a good show.
Not even at all. No. And, in the end, Roman Reigns starts the show. Roman Reigns closes the show. The same beatdown, New Year, same ending for the SmackDown. Do we like it? Of course not. It's absolutely trash. We're going to be talking about absolutely everything. So thank you so very much, family, for the love. Tomorrow, we're going to need extra love because tomorrow we hold our first annual Road Break Awards. And, we're going to be having a lot of fun. The votes are coming, a lot of them. So we're going to be talking about all of that. We revealed some of the categories already. So Jean Paul is going to reveal this category that is very important, especially for the female side of the spectrum. And this is Best Female Competitor.
Yeah, so we have a lot of big names on there, and you see, sometimes you forget maybe Impact, but Impact's Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo was one of the hottest women, in the wrestling scene just for her great work. She came out of nowhere, you could say, from NXT, not even featured, boom, Knockouts champ immediately, putting on great matches. So we have her featured there, and of course we have the NXT overall competitor of the year in Io Shirai as well. So, really good. This is going to be a really tough category. So, stay tuned and get your votes in. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., we're going to be going live. So all the votes will be counted by then. There are not going to be no shenanigans going on here.
No shenanigans whatsoever. So be with us, family. So, Paul, the show started, okay, with Roman Reigns. So, of course, 5 minutes in, not even 3 minutes in, because the other 3 or 4 minutes, it was just the whole rivalry with Kevin Owens. So I'm really? This is one more time what they're going to give us. And I'm oh, absolutely great. This started 2021, absolutely amazing. No, absolutely no. I hate it. I just absolutely hate how they like to destroy the shows. So the big dog is out, and then he starts saying that, when you're the champion, when you're the tribal chief, then you can, nothing is difficult for you. He wishes, as the face of the WWE, he wishes everybody a Happy New Year. And he said, 2021 was a difficult year, but when you're me, the tribal chief, when you're the head of the table, nothing is difficult. I'm surrounded by all these great people. So pretty much first time that he acknowledged Paul Heyman and somebody great. He says, you're the most honest man I ever met, and I'm so happy that I'm doing business with. And then he goes with Jey Uso. He's and the one line I do always enjoy is before nobody knew between you and Jimmy. So, but now everybody knows who you are. And now he uses the word main event Uso. So I'm really?
Anytime he says that line, I don't even know who you are. Oh, no, sorry, I have that wrong. When he says people didn't know who you were, that's the one that is just that's really funny. I pop for that every time too. So.
Yeah. Well, all of that, he says all of that. And then, he's just bragging about how cool he is and all that. But then we got to see Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes back, and then Roman, I like how he just starts going at him. He's you were a sweetheart for a few days during the social media, but I send your ass somewhere else. It's what are you doing here? You're one of those roaches that never goes away. You just keep trying to kill him, and you're just still there. So, but remember, it's KO. Nobody cares about you anymore. So it's like, just go. And then the line that you said about the family, walk me through that line because it was really cool.
Yeah, he says to me, he's like, I gave you this main event match at TLC, and he's like, I hope you use that paycheck to actually give your family a good Christmas for once. Just getting all these shots at Owens, and I love that line, like you said too, that Roman said, like, you were just an internet darling for a few weeks, and you're just a cockroach. Really, see, I like Roman as a heel. I think if it was just Roman. If you have just Roman on, no Jey Uso, no Paul Heyman, none of this bullshit. You don't have commentary. Oh, the tribal chief, the head of the table. Like, they just put too much shit on Roman's plate, and it just makes him just obnoxious, where he could just be an asshole heel because he looks like it, and he would get over, I think, more. But
oh yeah, like he will look a lot better. And like I said to you, it's like I never understood the addition of Heyman. I mean, Jay, whatever, but like you said, I mean, he will just be by himself. Is a lot. It will be more believable for me because even like Kevin says, like, you might be the Universal Champion still. You might just be the big dog, or like all of that. Like, you will be the head of the table, but like, you just disappointed your family because you cheat all the time. You just try to, like, put me away. You try to end my career, but in the end, I'm still here. And you said you're no longer the big dog, but you're just, a giant bitch. So, whoa, you say, woo. And then he just challenges Jey Uso because he wants a match with him, because he says that he's the reason why Roman always wins. And it's true, though. Like he goes with that line, and then he says that, like, your family is going to have nothing to celebrate after I'm done with Jey. So I will say it's a pretty good, like you said, that was the best part of the show, because at least the good interactions, the lines are believable, you're taking a few shots at them, so it's good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like this opening segment, but then, of course, if you look at it in retrospect, after seeing the main event, to me, it was bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, but at the time, this was, a really good segment by Kevin Owens, and I was hoping we would have seen him beat the shit out of Jey Uso to close the show, which isn't exactly what we got.
Oh yeah, no. That was that was just like an illusion that what we were gonna get. But like you said, it's just like things that like they should be able to change. Because WWE cannot be operating like this. It's so boring. It's the same storyline. They're stuck into something that is not working. Like I said, can Kevin Owens look good? He look like a somewhat believable baby face? No. In all this build, starting from the beginning of before TLC all through way to now, we still don't get any show Kevin Owens has looked good.
And the fact that this guy had like a legit match with Rollins at WrestleMania, did all this stuff, and he hasn't held the belt since then.
Yeah,
like, what's the point of this guy? He could have easily beat Sami Zayn, because you had Sami Zayn as a heel and Kevin Owens a babyface. I know we've seen him wrestle a million times, but why not 1,000,001? At least give Kevin Owens a belt. Like, there's so many things you could have done with him, and like they put him in this storyline, and we hope, is he going to win? Is he going to win? No.
No, not even. Not even one show he gets the upper hand. So that's the worst part of it. So let's go to the next segment. We're going to talk about the new IC champion Big E. He's going to be fighting against Baron Corbin, or King Corbin. And this match, like Sami Zayn was on commentary, so the Big Liberator was still upset about the loss that he had, how he lost the title in this awful fashion, like you said, the lumberjack match. And the match was pretty decent. King Corbin always gives us at least decent matches for what I can tell you, but in the end, WWE didn't want to give us like a regular singles match. What they wanted to give us was actually just like Sami Zayn interfere in the middle of it, and you know what that means. What that means with that, WWE is going to turn it into what? A tag match, because Apollo Crews also showed up. He took out Sami Zayn. So I don't know. It's just, for me, it's like we don't have anything to give these guys. So let's just have this, this crap like, it starts a single and then we made it a tag in good WWE fashion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like the singles match between them, I was like, okay, this will be, the title wasn't on the line, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. And I was thinking, they'll probably have Corbin win with the help of, the Forgotten Sons or whatever the hell they're called, where they're his, bodyguards.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was like, this will just be the new start of the program, whatever, because for some reason, they need to keep pushing Corbin every couple months. They can't just let him, rot in catering. But, then it's like, okay, we'll have Sami Zayn on commentary. And then you think, okay, I thought maybe, Juan, he loves triple threats. Maybe we'll see something legit. But no, nothing like that, because then, we get the tag team match, because then Apollo Crews is out there, and it's like, okay, clearly, you know what's going on. As soon as they did this tag match, I'm like, because Apollo Crews, when he came out to make the save, what was the last thing we remember him? United States champ, mid-card champ. Now he's on SmackDown. Boom, he comes out here in the mid-card scene, helping the mid-card champ. So as soon as they had this tag match, I was like, the baby faces are going to win, and there's going to be something backstage, and Apollo Crews is going to be like, hey, man, I helped you out. How about you give me a shot? And, they pretty much did something exactly like that. So, I mean, hey, I'm not saying I'm the best booker in the world just because it sounds good, okay? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. He knows what he's talking about. He can back everything thing he says. So you saw a little bit of dissension between Sami Zayn and King Corbin. So King Corbin pretty much left them like dry. He's like, okay,
I do like when he almost hit Corbin in this match, and Corbin goes, whoa, you almost hit me. And Sami Zayn's like, yeah, almost. I didn't. Like, what the hell? Okay. Get over it. He's like, I didn't hit you. Like, why are you crying?
And then, but
Corbin's like, Corbin and his lackeys are like, so.
I did. Well,
Because think of that from the Great Liberator. And I know, he's liberated us, so we're a little biased here. But, he says to Corbin, he's like, why don't your guys listen to me? He's like, we're a team. You guys should listen to me. I tell them to attack Big E or to attack Apollo Crews on the outside, and they don't do it. And he's like, they don't listen to you. I'm like, is Corbin an idiot? But that's a redundant question because I already know the answer.
Like you said, it's like they always like have to portray him, but like or give him like some kind of TV time. But it's just awful. Like he leaves. This is not really his storyline. So I kind of understand why they will do this. And then baby faces take the opportunity, hit their finishers 1, 2, 3, and like Jean Paul said, right after he just booked. There you go. Hey man, I help you out. Can I get a challenge for the IC?
Yeah, because Big E, he was like, oh, I'm gonna do an open challenge. Big E did one of his like the New Day promos, the long drawn out whatever. And then Apollo, I do like this from Apollo though. He's shown a lot of character development. You look back from a couple months ago to now, he's a hell of a lot better on the mic in front of the camera. So that's what I like. I'm actually a big fan of Apollo. So I'm not gonna like shit on him or anything. And a little bit of a heel. I noticed here because they start laughing and whatever. So I would love to see a lot of aggression from Apollo, in this match, and maybe you don't have to turn him heel, but just kind of crank that like aggression, that badass style a little bit because he's too much smiley baby face. Let's see a little bit of something different from him.
He's too nice, he's like too nice to be like a more believable wrestler. Meaning, like he needs to be more intense.
Yeah,
more
that's why like in the feud with Bobby Lashley, it's like there's no way like Lashley's clearly gonna win this thing because look, he's a monster, and Apollo Crews is all like.
You don't see enough anger. You don't see enough aggression. He lists ruthless aggression. So
exactly.
that's what we need from Apollo. So hopefully we'll see that. Next week they're gonna have a IC championship match. Let's go with like Kevin Owens. He's pissed. He's demanding a match against Jey Uso, and Adam Pearce is like, no, so you're not allowed to have that. And he's like, well, and if that was the case, then I want Roman. So if that's the case, then
he's like, that's an even bigger so.
Yeah, so and then I want to give you Roman instead. So like that's what you see. So now let's go. So far the show absolutely bad. When we get to see things like this, we know that like the show is not making any sense, and for that reason, like we all believe that like
I do like the one thing I will say though, I do like the authority figure in Adam Pearce. I wish he wasn't the same on Raw and SmackDown. I wish he was just SmackDown. And then I wish there was somebody else on Raw or vice versa. But I don't like how Roman dictates the show. How they just like, jerk Roman off like Roman is above management. Vince McMahon's order, his like totem pole is probably like Roman Reigns, himself, God, and then like, whoever else.
Yeah.
Like it's like Roman Reigns just rules everything.
How they make him look like that.
Yeah, Adam Pearce should be like, okay, you want this match? He screwed you twice out of 2 title opportunities. You have this match.
It's easy.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because it's not even for a title. It should be like, oh, you want him? There you go. Don't like, for example, William Regal. They're always like pro competition. Here, you want him? There you go. Yeah, get it. So like that's one that we don't understand. So now we're gonna for this match. The Riot Squad with against Natalya and Tamina, 2 girls that like I don't know why they're even a tag, but like Billie Kay, where they came she came out with like Natalya and Tamina. So you saw like this is like 2 of their partners, and Riot Squad like got the win both times. And in this match also, I don't know what's the meaning of all of this, but also the Riot Squad got the win. So like, what do you think about this?
I mean this.
Quick.
The only good thing to come from this is the Riot Squad keeps winning. I would love to see them win the titles, the tag titles at some point. we did see Charlotte and Asuka on SmackDown, so we know, like, unlike Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they will actually be on SmackDown defending the belt. So I think they will lose it to the Riot Squad eventually. But the whole Billie Kay thing, they're just doing it to give these women screen time, because they don't know what to do with them. This isn't anything meaningful. You know what I mean? Like I said, the only thing, at least one positive, the Riot Squad gets a win. An actual legit tag team, gets a win. So that's what I like to see. And like I said, hopefully they win the titles. But everything else involved in the storyline is bullshit.
Oh yeah, like the only good thing is like how the way that like Liv Morgan pinned Tamina. That's a very inviting.
And Natalia and her sister on Instagram are pretty good too. But
if you want to have like at least a good moment, a sexy moment, right? That not like Shawn Michaels, just go and check Natalia's and Jenny, I think her name, the sister of Natalia. So like you see, Billie Kay was just supporting the Riot Squad the whole time. So you see, like they're aligned, kind of like she wants to like align herself into the storyline. We'll see what happens. Hopefully,
which one thing I'm going to say is if that's the continuation of this, the Riot Squad better say how like the Iconics were like bullshit to them on Monday Night Raw before they split the Iconics, because that was the whole storyline that caused them to split. Eventually, when the Riot Squad got back together and they're like, no, we're legit, they beat them, and then the Iconics split. So if they don't bring that up, WWE, man, they don't
be like at least the continuation, or that should be the hook that like gives you like why are they kind of like she wants to be part of the Riot Squad.
But WWE probably forgot that they even did that.
Yes, but we as the analysts, we don't forget about that. And like you said, kind of strange that like they go from one women's tag match to another tag match, and and there you go, we get to see the champion like SmackDown, Sasha Banks with Bianca Belair going against Carmella and Bayley. This was okay. Like you said, the only thing is like they took the tag champs, Asuka and Charlotte.
And in that match, it was better than this. So it was like we're seeing a repeat minus 2 of the women, and it's not as good.
Yeah.
So and it's 2 weeks in a row that we're seeing. So yeah, this. I mean, I don't know what you thought. Like, I mean, all 4 of these women are pretty good. Carmella is all right, but the other 3 are like really good, I feel. And the story of it. The heels get the win, but in a bullshit way, and Carmella gets the pin. She hits, it's like a clean, not clean, but a clean win. It's not like there was a foot on the ropes or anything. Like, boom, 1, 2, 3, Sasha got pinned, and she, and Corey Graves, he goes, oh, Carmella now back at the top of the totem pole. Maybe she'll be the number 1 contender for Sasha Banks and all that. I'm like, are we going to see Carmella again? Are they going to put the title on Carmella so they can put it on Bianca? Like, I don't know what the whole point of this is. I don't get it. I was hoping they would move on from Carmella, but I guess with repackaging her and doing all that stuff, they have too much stock invested in her. They're not just going to do one match and done out of this feud.
Yes, and you see like Reginald, I think is the name of the assistant.
Yeah.
Reginald, and like he was also like part. He played the factor, like you said. Carmella gets the win, and like we did mention though. Remember we said like she might be again in contention for the Royal Rumble for a match with Sasha. Is she going to win the title? That's a little debatable. Like you said, I don't know why they will put the title on Sasha, especially now that she's really hot. And, put it on Carmella one more time. But, like, you made the best point, though. They invested so much time on Carmella with this untouchable thing. And now she doesn't even do the intro that she did in the past.
Yeah, and the only thing is, like, I can't think of another woman who would win the Royal Rumble besides Bianca. So unless you're going to do babyface versus babyface, which it is possible, but it's a lot harder to sell and it's a lot harder to get people excited and invested in it. I mean, you can still do it. Like, Hogan and Warrior, I guess, did pretty good. People were excited about it. Bullshit match, but I mean, people were excited. So, I mean, it is possible, but I don't know. I just feel bad for Bayley and Bianca in this because to me, they're really legit. And I was hoping for an actual legit feud between the 2 of them to kind of get Bianca ready for the Rumble, but it seemed like they're just kind of afterthoughts in the feud of Sasha and Carmella.
Yeah, like, and they should have separate interactions.
Yeah.
The separate parts in the show. I don't understand why they need it as a tag, tagging, with the champion with Sasha or like with Carmella. I just don't understand that. I just much rather like see this should be like whoever wins from this, becomes number 1 contender, instead of like, oh, Carmella pins her. Oh, she's number 1 contender right away.
Yeah, I would have rather seen a triple threat between like Carmella, Bayley, and Bianca or something.
Yeah. And there you go. See, like that's what, and maybe like you said, Bianca, or even whatever, even Carmella. That at least you believe, hey, she won the triple threat, and now she's the same.
Yeah, I mean, you could even have Bayley hit the rose plant on Bianca, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," and then like Reginald could throw Bayley out, and and then Carmella steals the pin.
With that, you believe that like she did something to earn that title shot, but if she doesn't do it, then she pins the champion. Okay, classical WWE fashion. New Year. Same ways, same weird ways, and we're talking about same ways, right? This is just worse. This is just gets more terrible every single week. I don't know why, but like they just enjoy when they just give us like this kind of trash. And I'm sorry because the Street Profits are like a pretty decent tag team. We're not hating on the guys, but what the things that they made them do, they're absolutely god awful.
And if you love the Street Profits, don't forget last minute to vote for them for the Rope Rig Awards Tag Team of the Year.
Yes, there you go. If you love them, both for them. But like this was just bad. They were giving spoilers or like the card like they always do, because all of a sudden they're not champions. They're just like a journalist. They just have their own show and stuff like that. Thank God for like Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. They jumped them. A big brawl. They ambushed them, right? And like it was good. I liked it.
Well, when Angelo Dawkins was, they're like, "Oh, what's this present here?" And they open it, and he starts playing on the drums. I was like, those are Juan's drums.
Yes,
those should have been given to him.
Yes.
Like that's so bullshit. But this, I kind of like what they said. We're the only team to win both the Raw and SmackDown, and we won 2 Slammies and all this stuff. And the Street Profits are legit, like you said. It's just they're over scripted by WWE. Like, go out there and do your catchphrases, but we're gonna crank the dial. We're gonna break it. We're gonna crank it to 11 out of 10. We're gonna just make you so annoying. And then also annoying is the team of Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, because they're the real cockroach that won't go away. Because how many times are we going to see these two guys come out and they do all this shit? What did they call? They made fun of Dolph Ziggler. They like referencing the Shawn Michaels thing, and it's like that joke has been said 1,000 times. So like it's really not even funny anymore. And it's just what are these guys going to beat the Street Profits? They're not a legit tag team. Nobody cares. You only have 2 singles guys in a tag team for the point of having the story continue. They lose the belts, and then, okay, let's either have them feud, or you break them off and they go into their own singles run. But you're not going to do that. It's the same thing with Nakamura and Cesaro. You have these 4 legit guys who should be in contention for singles belts or even singles champions, and they're in the tag division.
Yeah, it is because, like you said, they've completely forgot about tag team division. They create, believable tag teams. Like you always say, tag teams like that, like look the same. They have the combined entrance, like they do moves together. No, it's just like, let's put whoever is not doing absolutely anything and let's pretend that they are the best friends ever. So, it comes out like cringy. I mean, they were Raw Tag Team Champions, but right now is not believable, especially when they have a marquee match they never win. So I don't want. I mean, at some point these ones are going to be dethroned in the Street Profits. At some point.
And they're also not marketable. Like the Street Profits, marketable. New Day is marketable. Even like the Usos when they were heels, they're marketable. The Viking Raiders, all these legit actual tag teams. You're not gonna have Ziggler and Dolph Roode. Oh yeah, Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Yeah, Dolph Roode.
That should be the name of the tag team. Dolph. Yeah.
You're not gonna see them on the side of a bus holding the belts, because that's not a marketable tag team.
No.
So if they win it, they're gonna hold it for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks and then drop it to somebody else. So I can't get invested in them, and I can't get invested in anything that they do in the tag division. To be honest.
Oh yeah, no. Who will believe that there's actually a division? There's just random dudes. You're just like, oh yeah, you want to be on TV? Yeah, get another guy. All right, yeah, tag team. Yeah, right there, boom. Uprise, Overrise, like that. Boom.
I'd rather watch Everrise than watch this shit.
Like that. And somebody that came back and, like you said, they didn't even acknowledge. They didn't make a big deal about it.
They no sold their worse than freaking Eva Lisa against Thunder Rosa.
And Diamante, Eva Lisa and Thunder Rosa, they didn't even sell anything for her. So she's back. So like not even something along the lines of like she's just reinstated. That was just the only thing.
Because WWE at the one time, they're like, oh, let's keep kayfabe alive. Because when Mandy Rose beat her, she was kicked out of WWE. but now she's back. But, rope break, we always like to speak, we always like to shoot here. So it's good to see Sonya Deville back, because I think, when that all happened with that crazy stalker and everything, is when she was starting to feel and get really like legit in the ring, get comfortable. Okay, she has an identity. She's, starting to look legit. Then that unfortunate happened. So hopefully now she comes back and can add something good to the women's division.
Yeah, like she can actually be in maybe a storyline for like Bianca now, maybe like a storyline for Sasha, maybe after Carmella, or maybe in the middle of Carmella she can.
And it's also interesting to see how they debut her, because when she comes back, obviously a lot of fans, like us here, are going to be like excited to see her. So you're going to be like, is she going to be a babyface, or are you going to debut her as a heel? So that's interesting to see.
Especially her role on SmackDown now that Mandy is not there anymore. So we'll see what they do on that. So like you said, good stuff on there. This is not good stuff though. Another time that like a great tag team, and tag team because they're great, the singles guys, but like they also like were good champions. Cesaro and Nakamura going against Daniel Bryan and Otis. I did not like this at all, especially with the reason why they have even the match, and they give us like the story, and then you saw like Daniel Bryan kind of like humping into like Otis. I just hated that.
So instead of the yes movement, it's the hip movement. So they're like hips, and then
it was just terrible. I just hated it.
You have to laugh at it, because there's no point to get upset over wrestling, to get like where it ruins your day. But in reality, this is just awful.
Yes.
You have all of these guys. Only one of those guys in that last picture should be in a tag team. And his tag team partner is MIA. I haven't seen Tucker in what feels like weeks.
Yes,
but all these other guys should be singles run. They should be, in the singles stuff. They should be going after Sami Zayn, going after Roman Reigns, going after whoever. Not doing this bullshit. But
like you said, it was that bullshit that Lavelle lock on Nakamura and done. That's it. No reason to.
Yes, and they say, oh, Daniel Bryan, he never won a Royal Rumble. He never did any of this. And Nakamura won the 2008 Rumble. Jobbed.
Yeah,
you couldn't have him look legit and just. I mean, not that I want to see Cesaro jobbed, but I mean, you knew the heel team was going to lose. Somebody has to lose. I would have rather seen it Cesaro, because I mean, Nakamura, we've said it. Everyone else has said it. Like, this guy is just wasted on the main roster. It's a real shame.
Let's just call it for how it is. He's just there for the money. He moved to America. He wants a comfortable life. You know what? Like, I don't care what they do with my character. They can job me to whoever. They can be, the road break, handicap match against me. They can job me out.
Because he knows as soon as he's done, he's made his, American money. He goes back to Japan, and they'll love him. They'll ignore his WWE shit, and they'll be like Wrestle Kingdom AJ Styles. Yeah,
the main event. Come back home. Bring that money. You're good. Get that like Roman said, like the holiday money. Give your kids a good Christmas. I think he was talking about Nakamura instead of Kevin Owens with that. But before that, like we get to see like this. Promo by Roman Reigns, because Paul Heyman came out and he said, I forewarn you that Adam Pearce like made this match, and the match that he's talking about is Kevin Owens against Jey Uso, and he said, well, Jey, you got to show the whole wide world, especially Kevin Owens, that you're main event Uso. Well, like you said, like the fact that like right there he's sitting down with the title, he's like, oh, I pretty much booked the whole show. I'm Kevin Nash. I tell Bishop what he has to do. That's fine. So that's it, what we get. And we got this, match finally. Like, Happy New Year. Yeah, okay. Thank you, WWE. Happy New Year with this trash. Absolutely, I gotta love it. And it was what, Paul? Like 3 seconds because he just hit the stunner and done? That was like...
a little bit of back and forth. Nothing like too exciting. Like you said, he hit the stunner. Obviously, Jay's not kicking. Main event Jay isn't going to kick out of the stunner. 1, 2, 3, and I look at the clock. Okay, 9:53. We have 7 minutes. Something's gonna happen.
Yes.
It's gonna be so. It's like you're not gonna close the show 7 minutes early. And it like I said, this should have been where he just beats the shit out of Jey Uso. Roman comes out. Roman doesn't make the save to and then maybe Jay will finally snap in his head that, oh, maybe Roman is just using me, and maybe he's not as legit as he says he is. Maybe Kevin would have beaten him, and, maybe I'm just a pawn in his game. Let Jey Uso finally get a little bit of a brain here. But we don't see that. Instead, what do we see?
Okay, Roman comes out, but like remember, he goes like, Roman, come protect your family, bitch. And you can see in the background, Paul, like the guy with a really light green like shirt. Like,
oh yeah, he has the Luke Harper toy.
yeah, we got a Luke
That's
Harper like, action figure. So good stuff on that guy. I mean, that's the thing that like stole my attention. So like he goes again, Roman, where you at? Where you at, Roman? Come call your cousin. So he handcuffs him, and then he's, I thought like, hey, finally Kevin Owens is gonna get some redemption after all these weeks of being attacked, of being like jumped, being handicapped. But no, like you said, Roman comes out and they start, brawling, all of that, like jump him, like two against one. Kevin, of course, does he have any reaction? No. Sami saying Big Liberator, is he gonna come out and help him? No. So in the end, they beat the crap out of him to the point that like they throw him, out of like one of like the big platforms that they have, like where like the Thunderdome people are located and everything. So they threw him out like and supposedly that's supposed to tell me that that's a great show, right? When I see somebody jump.
Oh yeah, when somebody goes through like a gimmick table or a production crate that clearly has padding on the inside and everything. But
yes.
No, this is what I think. If you wanted to do this beatdown thing, there's only one way that you could have booked this and that made it feel legit and actually continued the storyline. They're beating Kevin Owens down. Oh my God, he's getting his ass kicked. Somebody in a hoodie and it's not me, comes flying in and jumps and makes the save, throws the hood down, and it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's like, "Fuck this shit. Fuck you, Roman. You're a disgrace to the family. Jay, you're fucking done to me. I don't care. We're twins." And then you have Kevin Owens and Jimmy Uso. And then that evens the odds. Then that adds a little bit of conflict. Because if it was just Sami Zayn or I'm not Matt Riddle's on Monday Night Raw, excuse me, but some other babyface, Chad Gable, whoever, Otis of all people, whatever, with Kevin Owens, it would be like, oh, you're just taking a random babyface. But to put Jimmy there, because the last thing we saw with Jimmy, he wasn't exactly on Roman Reigns' side.
Yes, so back
in that Hell in the Cell match, so that would be the only way to make it feel legit. Like, oh shit, okay, this soap opera is actually getting interesting.
Yes,
otherwise it's just Kevin Owens getting beat up every single week. Next week, oh, I want a match, and then he gets beat up, and I'm like, okay,
beat up. Like you said, that's a great way to even the odds. Get the other Russo, the main event Russo on the one side, and then, the other Russo going against each other, and then you have Roman and Kevin, and then finally Kevin he can get some redemption. Win, can go over Roman for once. But no, they didn't do that. We got to see Roman Reigns standing tall. Do we care? No. We've said, nowadays, SmackDown goes back to be the worst show in the WWE. Monday Night Raw, at least they don't have this cringy storyline. So hopefully the people at Fox, they said, hey, you know what? Can you improve this a little bit? Because it's not getting any better. So this is pretty much the review for the show that we have for SmackDown, family. Thank you so much one more time. Don't forget, like Jean-Paul was mentioning, vote for your best in the categories that we have. Like we said, the best female, best female match right here. We had the Blackpool 2, Toni Storm, Kaylee Ray, the Piper Niven. We have the Hell in a Cell with Sasha Banks and also Bayley. We have a NXT TakeOver in your house, Io Shirai, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley. Charlotte and Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania 36, and from Impact's Slammiversary, Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. That was a great match. All of these pay-per-views are here on Road Break. So if you don't remember the match, just go back and watch the review.
Mm-hmm. We did it all, baby.
Yeah, all of them. We got it all, like John Paul said. So thank you so very much, family. Don't forget to help us out with a subscription. Turn the bell for notifications, or else they can find us in the social media world.
And you can follow us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and like Juan had previously mentioned, click that bell, click subscribe on the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
That's right. So tomorrow, don't forget, live from the boiler room, Jean Paul, myself, first annual Rope Break Awards. We'll see you then, Jean Paul. You gave me one more thing that you had to say.